Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're going to be making a fun fold card, well actually an interactive card, using the Reach for the Stars bundle with the astronaut and the starship. But we're going to be using the astronaut and some of the fun sayings in there and using the die cut from the coordinating die set to cut out our astronaut. So I'm going to be using this gorgeous stargazing paper. It has all these different planets in it and all these galaxy papers. Oh, so pretty. But all the other sides have these really pretty colors on here. So we're going to be using this paper along with this bundle. But I want to show you, as you can see, I've already cut out our astronaut here. But what we're going to be doing is making a mechanism. Now I used this planetary paper with the flirty flamingo and the pumpkin pie and the crushed curry, but this one I'm using Tahitian Tide Berry Burst on this one and the lemon lime twist. But what we're doing is, I haven't finished this card yet, but this is the mechanism that we're going to be using on our card. It's a pull up slider card, and it is so easy to make. So I'm going to finish this one for you and post it probably on Friday, but this is the mechanism we're going to be using. I'm kind of doing this with my left hand. So it just pops down, and whatever you put on this part of the card, when you pull it up, it kind of sits up there like on an easel, and you can put a sentiment here and here. So I thought it would be really fun to use this astronaut here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you make the simple little mechanism. You're just cutting down on both sides and at the bottom, and then you're putting two score lines and a score line up here. So the measurements for this, you're just going to take your trimmer. You can use cardstock, or you can use your designer series paper. And so I decided to do the designer series paper, and I found that the measurements we're going to use are 4 by 5 1/4, because that is going to fit on the back of the card base. So the card base is just a quarter sheet, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to be putting this onto the card base, but we need to cut it out. But the real star of the show is the piece that's going to go inside of here, that when you pull it up, you see the white. Okay, so this piece here that we're going to be putting on, it is going to be 3 inches by 4 3/4. And all these measurements are underneath the YouTube description, along with a link. Visit my blog here. It takes you over to CindyLeeBDesigns.com. You'll have additional photos and information about this card. So the first thing we have to do is cut this paper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in 5/8 on each side and 5/8 up for cutting, that kind of like a U there. And then this one is scored here at 5/8. So we're just going to go in here, and we're going to go to 5/8. So we're going to go, here's the half, here's your half mark. 5/8 is 2 little tick marks right over there, right between a half and 3/4 is 5/8. So we're going to put our DSP in there, and we're going to go to a half, and then that's 5/8. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my blade at 5/8. And I'm just kind of going to put it down right at 5/8. I can see that's my cut, and I'm going to cut down to 5/8 from the bottom. So right here is 5 1/4, so that would be 5. So I want to be half and then another 1/8. So we're half, half. That's at, and then up 1 more. So that would be at 4 5/8 if you're starting. So you'd start up here on the top at 5/8, and you'd go down to 4 5/8. So we're going to go down to 4 5/8. Then we're just going to lift this up, and we're going to go to, we're just going to flip it. Okay, so we've got no cutting on either side, and they're both at 5/8 down. Okay, so we're just going to turn it. So our cut line is on this right side now, and we're going to go to 5/8, and we're going to do that same thing again. We're going to go up to 5/8, so go up to your half mark, go down to 5/8. I'll look from the angle here to make sure I'm there. 5, it's hard not to get my head in the video. So we're gonna go down, we're at 5/8. We're gonna come down to 4 5/8 here. 4 5/8. Now remember, I said we are going to, on the bottom, now I kind of like having this, you know, ring around this planet. I think it needs to be, this is directional. So I'm going to be making my cut line right between these two 5/8 marks, okay? So technically that's at 5/8 as well. So we're at a half, we go to 5/8, and we're going to bring our trimmer into, I got to get to 5/8, okay, half and half. Actually, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, there we go. 5/8, and then we're going to go down to this other cut line, and it looks to be about 3 3/8 when you're doing this. But if you're just looking at your paper, you're just going between the cut lines. Okay, so that is 5/8 there, and we have that cut mark. Now up here, we're going down 5/8 so that we meet the cut marks that we started at 5/8, and we're just gonna make a score line. So let's just put that cutting blade up there. Let's do our score line at, remember this is a half and up to 5/8, and this time we're just gonna use our score line. And you can just pretty much look at the cut lines on your paper and just line it up and go right in between. You're scoring right in between those lines, and that's at the top, and I'm just giving a little bit of a good score line here. Okay, there we go, and that's our top score line here. Now we need to go from the bottom, and we're going to go up 1, where's my cheat sheet? I'm going to go up 1 1/8. So from the bottom here, I want to score at 1 1/8. So 1 1/8. Okay, 1 1/8. Now you can do this, and you can see I'm right there, and I'm just going to go across here, right in between my cut lines. And of course, this card has many different measurements from other, you know, demonstrators I've seen, but this is the one I'm doing here. You can use this mechanism here with any fun thing that you want to pop up here. You can also put a panel here that holds a sentiment. Okay, so we went up from this bottom up 1 1/8, and then we're going to go down to 2 7/8, 2 7/8, and make another score line right in between our cut lines, and that is 2 7/8. There we go. So that's how easy it is to make that mechanism. Once again, we took our DSP, and we want to cut in 5/8 on each side and 5/8 from the bottom, and that gives us the flap that'll cut out. We don't cut this. This is going to be scored. Then we just turn this, and if you just remember 5/8, 5/8, 5/8. So 5/8, 5/8, 5/8. Then you're going to come here, and you're going to go to 5/8, and you're going to score in between your cut lines. Then you're going to turn your paper so that you're at the cut side, and you're going to go to 1 1/8, and at that 1 1/8, you're going to make a score right there. And then you're going to go to 2 7/8 and make your other score to give you the folding mechanism. And I'll have a little diagram on the post for you. So now we have got to get this so that it has the mechanism. So I'm just folding this, and I'm going to fold up this piece. You need to have a piece that lays underneath here, and that is this piece. And you want it a little bit bigger. See how it's bigger than the opening here? This opening is less than 3 inches because you want to be able to pull it up but have it not get caught. So the next thing we're just going to do is we're going to put it under here, but we're going to adhere this piece this way, okay? So think of it this way. It has to be, it's going to be underneath, but you're going to get it to this, to the bottom. Okay, so it fits under the paper, but this edge has to go to this edge. So the best way to do that is to go ahead, put some adhesive on your flap that you fold up. So take a look here. Remember, it was laying like this, and we're pushing it up. So we're gonna flip this back, and on this section, I'm putting my adhesive, glue, adhesive, whatever you have handy. Now, you don't want to put it on this side of it. It has to go underneath. So just push that through, and we're going to put this right so we have an equal part of white showing on each side. So maybe just about like, I don't want to see any of the white. So you can see when it's like it's pulled back, you can see a little bit of white on each side, okay? So that is your easy mechanism there. Now, if you end up with, it's gonna be flat, but if you end up with a little bit showing here, we're just gonna trim that off, okay? Because I do believe when I made this, it tucked right in there. But if you have a little bit of it hanging off there, we can just trim that, which I'm going to do. I'm actually not exactly sure why that little part is showing, but maybe I didn't cut it exactly right. Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to cut that off. I might have just cut that off a little bit, but okay. So now before we get this put onto our card base, we're going to hole punch where you're going to pull out this piece here. You need some place for your thumb to get in there. So I'm going to try to, I'm just using a 3/4 inch punch I have. I'm going to try to get it in the center. You don't want to get it past the score line. You just want it about halfway between the edge and the score line. And I'm just going to try to get it and out in the middle of the, so I'm kind of looking to the left and the right, and I'm going about a ½ inch. About a halfway, and so I'm trying to look at the score lines and see there. So that'll be my little place to pull. Now, I'm gonna grab my very best trio punch that has this very best trio punch. I've been using it a lot lately. It has that little place there. So I'm gonna put it, and I know it's going to get in there because it's a tight, well, I actually can't see that, right? So let's just know that we're gonna put that about equidistant there. I'm gonna take a chance and just hope it's in the middle. This is also an opportunity where you could use a hole punch, but look, it worked out for me. Okay, so that is where our pull-up mechanism is, and I'm just gonna use this fun parakeet party. It really works well with the lemon lime twist that's in this card. So I'm just gonna put this in that little notch. So now I have my little pulley, my pulley thing, and that green just looks really cool with the green that's in here, though it is a little bit skinny. But it does serve its purpose. It's green and green. Okay, so this is what's gonna be pulling up here, but notice, we're not seeing anything here. Now, if we put this on the card base now, you're just gonna have black. If you want, you could stamp in here in white or something, but you need a base behind here so that when you slide this, you have something to write on. So that is this piece here. You have to put a piece of paper behind this. Now that would be the same size as the DSP, which is 4 by 5 1/4. However, I wanted to make sure no white was showing, so I did trim it a tad down from the 4 inches because I wanted to make sure that none of it was showing. And then I can make it flush with the bottom, and I don't want to see the white at the top because this will be pulled out, but you have to adhere this to this piece now. Okay, so logic would tell us just put your adhesive here, here, and here, nowhere else, because this has to slide. So we're just gonna go ahead. Do you know what? Maybe I should use, am I gonna be bold and use my tear and tape? I think I might. So I'm just gonna put this down at the edge here. Oh, I am getting very bold using that, okay? Tear and tape. I love this for, remember the old red tape we used to have and you used to have to cut it? But this is really cool because all you do is tear it. So I'm just making a nice, firm, strong adhesive here for this because it's going to be pulling. You're going to be pulling at this DSP. So we're just going to get my little paper piercer here, and I'm going to get this adhesive backing, this protective coating off of here. There we go. The only thing about it when I use tear and tape is I just am always thinking, once this goes down, that baby ain't coming back up. So I just really want to, that's whenever you just call out to Stampin' Jesus and you say, please help that I get this on here right. Okay, so look, we're gonna get this last piece off of here. Okay, and get that off. Now we have got this base. It's sticking to my black. Okay, so what I want to do is put this white here. Now I want to be sure that you're flat. You want it flush at this top. So I might be a little bold and snip a little bit off of here. I'm just thinking that might help me to make sure no white is showing. Because I think the white, if the stark white shows through from this paper and the black, it won't be too cool. So I have it cut a little bit, just a scotch, maybe 1/16 of an inch. And then I'm gonna kind of pay attention up here to the top. I'm gonna flatten this out and I'm going to put, oh, there's my ribbon. I'm gonna put this right flush with the top so I'm not seeing anything, and I'm not seeing any DSP on either side, and putting it down. I'm finding it easiest to do it this way instead of laying the paper down this way. Did you see how I had more control over putting it down onto the adhesive? And so I was laying it flat onto the tear and tape. I felt like I had a little more control over like trying to put it on this way. So look at this. This is what's really cool. Ta-da! Isn't that super cool? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to decide what we're going to put for the sentiments. Now, this stamp set has some cuties. It has this, if I had a star for every time you brighten my day, I'd have an entire galaxy. I love that. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put that right here. Or would you say, I'm going to put the greetings friend, you're stellar. So would you open up the card and say, greetings friend, you're stellar. I think the star sentiment needs to go down here. I'm going to use the Tahitian Tide because I see that color just calling out to me from the DSP. Make sure I'm doing it the right direction. How many times have you stamped it upside down? I really wish we had blocks with lines on them, but we don't, so I use these other ones I had. Okay, so there, look how that, oh, I love that. Okay, I thought it would be cool to put a couple of these little stars on there too, and I'm gonna use my Berry Burst. I'm using my old one. I just know that I have these on here straight, so I'm gonna put a few, but I know that I have them on here this way, so I'm gonna put some stars there. And then I'm going to also put some stars in Lemon Lime Twist. Where is my Lemon Lime Twist? Lemon Lime Twist, oh, you're over here. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Lemon Lime Twist as well, making sure that I clean off my stars. I told my girls tonight we had class and I said, you can't do anything wrong. You can do any color you want on this card. You just can't put a blue inked stamp in my yellow ink pad. Okay, so just make sure you don't have any edges. And you know what? I think I'm gonna trim that one down. See how there's a lot of red rubber around there? It's a little too much for my liking. So I'm just gonna get some green on there. Lemon Lime Twist, we're good. I think I have good coverage here. Let me just bring it up here to my Little stamp, little taps, and I did get a tiny bit there. So I'm gonna try to put that right up here in the corner. There we go, little cute little stars. Okay, now up here, I'm gonna put the greetings friend, and I am going to do that in the lemon lime twist. So where's the greetings friend? Oh, over here. And we've already got our lemon lime twist open. Lemon lime twist is one of our old colors. That's why I still have it in my old ink pad. And we just had a class tonight, and I used the new ink pads, and I have a couple kits left over, and I want to make some cards for swap, so I left all that downstairs. So we are going to, like I said, there's a lot of rubber around these ones. I should trim them down. Okay, so I'm thinking that I've got good ink on there. I'm going to put it right here. And now that I'm putting it on here, I'm wishing I would have switched those, because you have, like, my eyes looking at green. I would have liked green, Tahitian, and green down here, but it's already done, so we're just gonna have to work with it. And I might add, they are perfectly straight. Thank you, Stampin' Jesus. Okay, so now we are going to put it onto a black base. And that's very easy. We're just putting it on the back of this white. So let's just use some of our leftover snail here. And we're just going to, and you could definitely use your Tombow or your Stampin' Seal. I just happen to have that sitting on my desk. And this one, I'm just putting a nice 1/8 inch border around that. Look how that black and this green just jump out. Oh, look at that. Look how cute. Isn't that cute? But the real fun, you know what? This is, I'm almost thinking I might put, I think I want to tie this like this, because this is a really slippery ribbon. So I think I'm going to pop this through here and put it through here and then tie it somehow. Wait, I can't figure out how I'm gonna do that. You know, like how you put something through and tie a knot, because it's bugging me. Wait, let's put this through here, right? And, well, I'll figure that out afterwards. My brain isn't functioning too well at midnight, the night before the video is to go out. Mr. Harvey's over there sleeping away, and I said, well, you know what, we're gonna have a good day tomorrow if I'm not worried about getting my video. So I want to tie a knot on there somehow. Okay, so now the next thing is we want this astronaut to pull up. Oh gosh, I'm wishing I would have put Tahitian there. Oh darn. Oh well. Okay, so pop that back down there, flatten it out. The key to the piece that's going to be going, easeled up here is you don't want it to go past this score line here. So when I put him on here, he's got to stay above the score line. Otherwise, it'll, you know, bend into it. So I'm going to put dimensionals on his, I'm going to really dimensional him up. I'm going to put dimensional there, 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 there. Let's see how far he's here. And also you want to pay attention to, oh, actually I should just pull it up, right? I don't know why. I got to figure out that knot there. Okay, so you can almost pull it up and then know how he's going to stand, okay? So he's going to go here, and you can see I might just move that down just a tad, and then we're good. It was just good judgment there. So I have these little dimensionals on here. And you know what? I'm wondering, I could probably put one more nice and tight against these ones, okay? And like I said, they're going to fit right onto this section that comes up. So I'm going to put that down like that, right in the middle. I want to make sure none of the dimensionals are showing on that side, so that when, see, that is really, and then you just pop that, and then you, there you go. Isn't that a cool card? And see, you have a little leeway. That's why you have this piece of white is bigger, a little bit bigger. You could have actually even made it as big as, you know, a little bit bigger. You do want it to have a difference in width when it's coming out. That's why it's 3 inches there. But isn't that just cool? Now, you will see this video done by some other card makers that if you already have the DSP on here, this card, I actually adhered my DSP to cardstock. So what I did is I put this DSP already on this cardstock, this blue cardstock. So then when I cut it with this, you have the same dimensions, but when I cut it, it has, as you can see, the cardstock behind it. And when you did that, you just pushed this into 3.5 and you sliced it down, okay? Because you had to add on to this portion here. So some people will do it that way, but I knew I wanted to do something lighter with the pulling, because this is good with the cardstock, but I like the lightness of just using the DSP. So I will write the measurements of how to do this one too, and that might be in the next day or so. Okay, so that is this fun little card. And like I said, I'm going to figure out a way to get this bugger to stay in place. But look at that. And you can always put a piece of white on the back if you want to sign, or you can write a message right on the back of here too. So there's that pull out slider card. I hope you had fun watching this video. It is, I really do. Oh, I almost forgot, guys. I have some of those adhesive backed glitter sequins, and these adhesive backed glitter sequins, look at the colors. They say in the catalog that they're old olive and blue, but look at that. Come on, that's matching lovely with this DSP. So let's just put, like, you just have to have some bling. So maybe a blingy one there, and then let's put some of the blue. These are in the holiday mini catalog, retiring, so I'm not even sure if they're still here. I think I'm gonna put 1, 2, let's see. Oh, do you know what? There were white. So it could, yeah, let's put a white. There was white in there as well. So let's grab a white. So we'll have all 3 colors on there. So, adhesive backed glitter sequins in the holiday catalog. Let's put, there we go. We got some bling on there. And then I'll save these little guys in this little plastic baggie. I like to keep on my desk just when I need a little bling. So there we go. And you have your astronaut. And you have that nice saying. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call or text me at 724-323-2296. You can email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. If you get a WordPress notification from me, if you subscribe to my blog, that is from WordPress. So whatever you write on that comment goes public. So if you have to get a hold of me, email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. Otherwise, you're emailing back to WordPress and not me personally. Okay, so if you can't get me on an email or a text or whatever, texting, has become so right there. So texting is always great for you to get a hold of me. But if you don't get a hold of me on an email or a text, call me. There's so many different ways and so many things going on at one time. We will get in touch. So thanks for buzzing by, friends.